It's spooky season, y'all. Boogity boogity. Yeah, okay, I may be a fight choreographer and I can speak more clearly on action movies and fight scenes and stuff like that. But I also love horror movies. And it's just an opinion. I figured let's start with the Evil Dead franchise because everybody has a favorite in the Evil Dead franchise that can be vastly different. Well, there's only like, what, 5 movies than the next person. So maybe this won't offend. Synopsis. Evil Dead 1. Bunch of white kids go to a cabin. Demons and shit. Has a final boy, a final guy instead of a final girl. Evil Dead 2. After we get through the flashback, we take up where the first one left off. First one left off with our final boy, Ash, being attacked at the end of the movie by the Evil Dead. Drags him through the woods. Girlfriend comes back to life. She's an Evil Dead. He's starting to lose his mind. More people show up. They have to fight the Evil Dead again. Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, the Medieval Dead. He, at the end of part 2, gets sucked into a time warp or whatever, goes back in time, ends up in the medieval times. And what do you know it, the Evil Dead is there too. And he has to try to find his way or get back to the present or where he came from. He is able to do that if you watch certain versions. There's an alternate version where he goes too far ahead. I think the theatrical version, he ends up coming back, you know, the happy ending. Hail to the King. Evil Dead 13, 2013. Go back to maybe a more serious approach like the first Evil Dead. And it's a whole new group of teens. Got one black character, dies first, final girl this time. Evil Dead Rise, apartment building. Children do what children do and they get into shit. Here come the Evil Dead. Final girl again this time. Did the kids make it? No. Now that we got the synopsis, let's rank these movies, okay? Whew. All right, so coming in dead last for me in the Evil Dead franchise is going to be Evil Dead Rise. This movie is fine. If you took the Evil Dead name off of it, took the book out of it. Oh, okay. I don't like this movie. It would be fine if not for these 2 scenes that make it unlikable for me. Let me tell you the 2 scenes. First off, Chinese Connection. When I say Chinese Connection, see, sometimes I forget that there could be Gen Zers who watch my videos. There could be people who are just not in the know as far as Kung Fu movies go. Chinese Connection is a Bruce Lee movie. It is also called Fist of Fury. Honestly, I think that the Return of the Dragon should be called Chinese Connection because he comes from China. He's their Chinese Connection in that movie. But regardless, when I say he went Chinese Connection, I am referring to when Bruce Lee goes into the Japanese karate school and just beats everybody up. Okay, got it? Now let's go to the scene. Looking through a peephole. Mama done went crazy. She's Evil Deaded, all right? And then you got a neighbor with a shotgun and you got a few other neighbors. And you, through the peephole, you see them like kind of like go in on her. But you don't see what happened. Well, you don't see the fight. You see the result. And the results are very quick. Chinese Connection. They go in, they get taken out very quickly. Dude gets both arms ripped off. Dude with a shotgun gets a shot off and then he gets jacked up. She's just right? Super strong, super fast Chinese Connection. There you go. Okay, now a little bit later, let me in. What? Real truth, just saw you go ham Chinese Connection on all these people, and now you want to ask somebody to let you in? Kick the door open. You that badass? Do it. Go ahead. Also, a little bit later in the movie, she attacks her family. Right? I just saw you go Chinese. You ripped those arms off and all this other stuff. Why are they now stronger than you? Why can't you just do what you want to do now? That took me out of the movie, you know. And the funny thing is, stupid shit like that doesn't always take me out of the movie. We get to pick and choose what we like. I can not like this because of some stupid shit and then love another movie that has stupid shit in it. We're weird. Humans are weird. In saying that, don't not see the movie because I didn't like that stupid shit. You might be all right with it, which doesn't make you stupid. The second part that was like, I was like, man, I'm done with this movie. After the Evil Dead stuff starts happening, right? And we know the Evil Dead stuff is happening. We've looked through the peephole. We have come, mama on the ceiling, right? And talking shit. Okay, we know. If you are the aunt and it is your job to protect these children, would you then turn your back on these children, go into another room, shut that door behind you, and put on headphones? while the Evil Dead is trying to get in and take the children and kill you. Would you do that? Well, she did. And when she did that, that was the end. I was done. I was done. This was too far for me. Oh, and you're not going to believe this, but when she did that, something bad happened to the kids. I wanted her to die so bad. So bad.
I hated her so much.
In every Evil Dead movie, somebody does something stupid. So I will compare. That's my dead last. Coming in next, I'm going to go with Evil Dead 1. Not because I don't like it. Evil Dead 1 is awesome. It's good, but it is my second to last. There are other rankings that will put this movie higher because, you know, they slept on the floor to film it. They had contacts that were like glass and was like jacking up their eyes while they were filming it. That's a totally different type of ranking. This is not a who slept on the floor the longest ranking. However, I didn't like Evil Dead Rise. I like Evil Dead. From here on, all the movies, hey, didn't see this movie as a kid, probably saw pieces of it. If I had seen this movie as a children, I think that it would have scared me. I think that it would have scared me. All the acting is terrible. The tree assault scene, I know that Sam Raimi talks about how, I shouldn't have did that. Oh, I didn't like doing that or whatever and all that other stuff. I don't believe him. I mean, I believe him now. Now you feel bad about it because of all the way society is, but I don't think that he felt bad about it then, because even while the tree assault is happening, the girl is making noises like she's enjoying it at some point, and it's just, nah, you didn't feel bad about that, dude. Eat a dick. I am totally fine with the Evil Dead sexually assaulting people because it's the Evil Dead. And no one wants to be sexually assaulted by a tree. To me, that's evil. But the way that it was shot, if you haven't seen the movie and you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The next one is Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is pure comedy. I love this movie. This is where Ash, our final boy, this is what makes him an icon. Army of Darkness has Evil Ash in it, has some kung fu in it. It's pretty good. I love it. Now we're down to 2 movies. This is the tough part, because these next 2 movies, one of them is just, for me, it's like kind of it. And the other one is the best movie in the franchise if we want to skirt on that word objectively. Coming in next is going to be 2013's Evil Dead. It is actually the best movie in the franchise. Sorry, Sam, but Evil Dead 2013 is the best movie in the franchise. Let's get to the stupid shit. In Evil Dead Rise, the aunt goes into the room and leaves the kids so they can be killed. That's dumb. Let me tell you something dumb that happens in this movie. The English teacher reads from the Book of the Dead, even though it says, hey, don't read this. What are you doing? It even at one point smacks him on the hand. Stop that. And he's like, no, I'm going to keep going, right? This is before the evil happens, though. So what the aunt did in Evil Dead Rise, if we were to put that in Evil Dead 13, what would it look like in Evil Dead 13? It would be if after the evil started happening and he knew it was connected to the book, and he then started reading more of the book. But no, he reads the book before anything starts happening, and he causes it. It's still stupid, but it's a different stupid for me. Like I said, we skirt on the objective. It's subjective. But someone could make a very good argument. It has the best story, the best reason for them to go out to that cabin. This one character, Mia, is going cold turkey, and they're gonna take her out there and look, we're gonna stay out here until you go cold turkey. And then when dude unleashes the evil and the evil is messing with her, they think she's just going through withdrawals. Evil my ass. And then it comes for that ass. Evil Dead 2013. Have you ever seen a movie called The Thing by John Carpenter? Have you ever seen The Fly starring Jeff Goldblum? Maybe even 1988's The Blob remake. Evil Dead 2013 is to the original Evil Dead what those movies were to the originals. John Carpenter's The Thing was a grotesque horror. It took the concept and sprinkled some cocaine on it. And it's a masterpiece. The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum, children could watch the original Fly and be like, What the hell is this? Not with Jeff Goldblum's The Fly. Evil Dead 2013 to me is that for the original Evil Dead. It is a better story with much better acting, better reasons, better effects. Everything about it is solid. The beginning. Oh man, did you see the beginning? Like with the girl running through and we don't know who she is, and then the people come and you're like, oh no, you know, leave the girl alone, and we find out.
I will rip your soul out, Daddy. I'll rip yours.
That's a movie you'll never see, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Hollywood doesn't like ugly people, and I'm not saying they're ugly. Hollywood would say they're ugly, and so Hollywood would not make a movie about these people. Yeah, unless they were the bad guys, right? So we'll never see that. I would like to see, look at those people. How'd they come together? We go through them, we get them out of the way, and then we get to the pretty people, because that's what most people will pay to see. And of course, we killed the black person first. So, because Sam ain't gonna put any in his movie. So, you know, we put one in ours, and Sam probably went, because there's no niggas allowed in there. No, I was kidding. All right. That's my number 2. Which means number 1 is Evil Dead 2. No, it's not as solid as 2013. It's not. I may talk some crap about Sam Raimi, but I believe this is his best movie. You know how Sam Raimi directs? And when Sam Raimi does horror, if he nails it, I think it's an accident. But the camera doing the zoom in, that's not scary. That's funny. The whole da-da, da-da, and this is perfect. It is the perfect balance of having scenes that may make your hair, may give you goosebumps, and having scenes that just make you just fall out laughing. If you haven't seen Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, give it a watch. So many memorable scenes, and it could be nostalgic. This was the first one I saw. It was at a time where HBO wouldn't show movies this scary before midnight, which means I had to set my alarm and get up in the middle of the night and watch Evil Dead 2 in the dark alone by myself. And I just found it so fascinating. And it was funny the first time I watched it, but then after that, every time it would come on, I would set my alarm 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and get up until I eventually record it and watch it. And it just got funnier and funnier and better. It's great. Evil Dead 2. So that's my ranking. Evil Dead Rise, I don't even like it. Evil Dead 1, Army of Darkness, the remake. What the hell is that? And number one, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. So, it's spooky season. What horror franchise will we do next? Stay tuned until next time. Peace.
I'll rip your soul out.